Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Fayette, and thank you all for coming, taking a break from your busy days, and being here for this momentous occasion at the Village of Fayette. And I just want to thank the governor and his crew, and thank everybody that worked on this project. It was a lot of work, and we very much appreciate it. And without any further ado, I'm going to introduce the governor of the state of Ohio, Mike Dewine.
Hey, Mayor, thank you very much. Well, it's good to see everybody. I know in Fayette the sun's always out. It's always like this, right? Great day. So I just it's really exciting for me to be here. This is our first stop of the day. We have actually 3 separate stops. My wife Fran is out in some other communities making announcements. Lieutenant Governor John Husted, who is from, as you know, from this part of the state, he's out making announcements as well. So I want to go back a little bit in time, back in November of 2019. In November 2019, we announced what we called H2 Ohio. And the purpose of H2 Ohio was to make sure that all Ohioans have clean drinking water. One of the things that people associate with H2 Ohio is our effort to clean up Lake Erie and to make sure that the algae bloom never causes a situation again where fishermen cannot go out and fish and where people in Toledo and other parts of the state can't get the clean water from Lake Erie that they should be getting. What we're announcing today is really a continuation or an expansion of H2 Ohio. Maybe another way to describe it is it's H2 Ohio 2. We continue with H2 Ohio. We're making great progress in cleaning up Lake Erie. It's a 10-year program, and it's right on schedule. But what we are announcing today is a continuation of this, and our goal is that every single Ohioan, no matter where they live, have good, clean drinking water, and that they have that consistently, and that there's not any shutdowns or not any huge problems connected with that. One of the things that I talked about back in 2019 when we announced H2 Ohio was that there are parts of Ohio, places in Ohio where we have failing water systems. There are places where we have failing septic tanks. There are places where we have dangerous lead pipes where that drinking water is flowing through. The sum and substance is that we do have places in Ohio where we have a failing infrastructure. And we're kind of dubbing this Build Ohio. We are going to be spending money directly investing in our communities and investing in our people. Everything from new water system, new sewer systems, to other things such as broadband, which really is today is an essential part of infrastructure. But today we're really focusing on 54. We're announcing today, and we'll be announcing actually by press release for the news media sometime in the next hour or two, 54 separate grants around the state of Ohio. That represents 60 separate counties, and it will total $93 million. So this is the first of a series of announcements that we're going to make over the next month. So we are devoting a total of $250 million. These are federal dollars that came in. We made the decision, along with the state legislature, to invest this into our communities. and so that's what this represents. But as, again, 54 grants today, $93 million, and then we'll have probably 2 more announcements over the next month or so about where the rest of this money will go. So today 60 counties, but all counties will be covered. Every single county will get at least one of these grants. I want to thank Senator Gavarone, Representative Marin. Both of them played a big role in making sure this money is flowing back to the local communities. This is a joint decision between the state legislature and the governor's office. We proposed this to the legislature. They approved it. So if you could thank the senator, the representative, the next time you see them. I know that they are in, I believe that they're actually in session today, and they've got committee hearings, and that's where they are today. Frankly, few places in Ohio have such a need as you do in your community. This is the largest, I believe, grant that we are making in the announcement today, and that decision was made simply because of the situation that you're in, really through no fault of your own, that you have a system that has been identified, and I quote, as a high risk for catastrophic failure. High risk for catastrophic failure. That'll get everybody's attention. So let me now introduce someone who you know and who has lived with this along with the mayor and the council, and that is Jenna Biddix, and she's going to talk a little bit about exactly what the need is and how this money will be spent. So the village administrator, Jenna Biddix. Jenna? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Forgive me, I'm going to look down a little bit while I'm talking to you. But this is a historic day for the Village of Fayette. I'm humbled to speak on behalf of the mayor, the elected officials, the council or the administration staff, and the DPW staff. A great deal of work done by our small staff and a few close colleagues went into getting us far enough to be able to apply for this very unique grant with Governor Dewine's office. He's partnered with the Ohio EPA and the Ohio Department of Development to get this project started. This $10 million award will relieve the majority of the estimated $14 million burden resting on the shoulders of our small community. It will also shorten the construction timeline because we will be able to plan it as a single phase project versus the originally anticipated 3 phases. These grant dollars will fund a completely new water distribution system. The village's water distribution system has an increasingly high rate of failure and an unacceptable number of inoperable main valves that make it difficult or impossible to shut water flow down to make necessary emergency repairs. For years, we have fought to keep water loss under control. Our DPW staff does an outstanding job working under such challenging conditions. We are very fortunate they are so dedicated. We will continue to need the DPW staff's efforts to keep issues with the distribution system under control until this project can be completed. We have just started formally planning with the help of an engineer firm, Arcadis, and our colleagues at GLCAP, Great Lakes Community Action Partnership, formerly known as RCAP, Rural Community Action Program. Detailed project timeline is still undetermined. We hope to have finished design plans by spring or summer of 2022 that can be submitted to Ohio EPA for approval. Once EPA approves our project, we will be able to put it out for bid. Once the contractor is hired, we can start construction, which could potentially be sometime late 2022 or early 2023, weather permitting, of course. There is no doubt of the immense positive impact this water infrastructure project will bring to our long-suffering residents once completed. Not only will this improve all of our residents' quality of life, It will help reduce the heavy financial burden this project would have placed on our already economically distressed community. I would like to take a moment to say thank you to a list of people that made being able to apply for the statewide water and wastewater infrastructure grant possible. DPW Superintendent Zach Lester, DPW Assistant Superintendent Joel Smith, all of our DPW maintenance staff, all of our village administrative staff, including elected officials, Senior Rural Community Development Specialist with GLCAP, Roberta Streifert, Project Manager with Arcadis, Tim Harmson, and thank you to the Fulton County Engineer, Frank Onweller, for handling the ranking and evaluation process for Fulton County and ultimately helping to rank our project #1 on your priority list. I'm sure it helped us get here today. I would also like to thank Governor Dewine and his whole staff. It's been a pleasure working with all of you over the past few days. It was difficult to find words to express how much this means to us. Finally, on behalf of the village, I don't think I could possibly overstate it when I say I know we are all absolutely overwhelmed with gratitude that we will be one of the recipients of such an unprecedented grant award. It truly is a blessing. Thank you for your time today.
Let me just add, my wife and I grew up in a village a little bit bigger than this, about 3,500. And we understand what unique challenges villages have. We also understand how important these villages are and how wonderful they are to live in. So this is, for me, a very exciting day to be able to announce this grant. We'll be happy to take any questions from anybody in the media that wants to ask any. Media's usually not too bashful, but or if not, we'll go and we'll I'm going to take a tour of the Opera House, so to do that. But let me just again thank everybody, Mayor and Jenna. Thank you both very, very much. Thank you for your leadership. To the Village Council, thank you for your leadership. This is again part of an overall vision that we have for Ohio, to invest in our people, to invest in our communities where people live. You can look at this as infrastructure, you can look at it as clean water, however you want to look at it. But these are things that are essential to the quality of life. It's essential, frankly, for us to be able to grow as a state. It's essential for us to be able to provide that clean water that frankly every Ohio citizen deserves. So we're very excited about this. As I said, we're going to be making additional announcements in the future, not just in regard to water, but we're going to have some announcements in regard to broadband. We're also going to have announcements in regard to some brownfields areas that need to be cleaned up as well. So again, investing in ourselves, investing in our people. So thank you all very much for being here, and maybe I can get a little tour. Can you do that?
Yeah.
It's good. All right. Thanks, everybody.